Hi, this is Robbie Thomas, Bay Area Downsizer. Today, I want to discuss on this very specific topic that I get asked nearly every listing presentation I go to, which is if open houses still work in a declining market, especially because the market is so slow and most of the homes in the neighborhood are sitting on the market for 2 months, sometimes 3 months, sometimes even longer. And I just wanted to address that specific question. But before that, why don't you subscribe, like my video, and leave a comment and forward the link to your friends and family. I do provide a free service for your evaluation of property. If you click on the link below, you can get to that. Now, let's get on to it. So, open houses. This is a topic of big contention these days. The last 18 years, we have seen the market go up straight from the 2007, 2008 timeline, you could see. And when the prices had dropped, there was a whole lot of interest in overbidding from buyers and investors. And there was a period when there were real first-time home buyers and step-up buyers who were, upsizing, and not too many downsizers. And as the time went on, what we saw in the last 5 to 6 years were more and more investors who had equity in their properties, who had to do a 1031 tax exchange, or people who wanted to roll that money into a bigger property or diversify. So very specific kind. I'm not saying that there were no first-time home buyers. They were, but a very smaller number by um, in comparison. So what happened towards the tail end of the last year and the beginning of this year during spring was a couple of things. The interest rates, they did come down from last year's 8.3% 30-year fixed to about 7.1%, and then now trailing at 6.4, 6.5%. But even then, the buyers have completely stopped looking at homes directly at open houses. The main reason is because they are now in a climate where they may lose their jobs because of the AI revolution, because of the interest rates, and also because of other primary situations like their visa situation or their employment situation based on their green card visa. Now, how do we make sense of open houses? Because nobody really, at least the larger section of society, will never buy a house just going to a website, clicking it, and buying it, because it's the largest asset class that a person can invest in. Excuse me. They usually go to the house through an open house or through an appointment set through their realtor they find online, or their family friend, or their past realtor. So, what is the fundamental idea of holding an open house? It used to be the case where within a weekend, even without any advertisement whatsoever, just putting the house on the multiple listing service or the MLS, and we could have like 50, 60, 70, 80 groups of potential buyers walking through and bidding each other up and getting at least 10, 15, 20. I had a particular situation where I wrote the offer representing the buyer, and we beat 47 other offers to become the winning bid. That is a very tough situation. Now, the whole system has shifted to the buyer's side, and the sellers are finding it harder and harder to get real qualified, ready, willing, and able buyers inside the open house. So, does it make sense to hold open houses? Yes, let me explain. So, recently I was able to sell a house, and I was not the listing agent on that, but one of my friends was the listing agent, and they wanted me to sell it, and they had become weary and tired of doing their own open houses and trying to sell it for a couple of months. And so I said I would do it, but it has to be done in a different way, not the traditional way. And I was able to do 10. In fact, I coordinated with them, and because of the advertisement timelines, I was able to do 10 open houses continuously within a 2.5 week period, and also do custom advertisement and drive specific people who were sitting on the fence thinking of buying, or maybe not buying but wanted to see the house because of eye candy, because the allure of the beauty of getting into their own home and negotiating something in their favor. And those are very specific kind of buyers who needed to be targeted online and offline using multiple media and targeted marketing backed with actual dollars. So I was able to drive that traffic into the open house, and I did that for 10 days, 3 to 4 hours every day. I was still able to get only 33 total groups inside the house, where I actually interviewed them in person and was able to get their feedback. And there was only one offer, and that buyer actually bought the house and is very happy. That's the story I want to see happen to every single homeowner. Never to tire, never to give up, and the power of open houses. Because, yes, the usual traditional way of doing open houses, just slapping the listing on an MLS, sitting, carefree, playing some music, and hoping that the real buyer will come by, those days are gone. Now, the buyer has real challenges, and the seller has even more hard challenges because they have to roll the equity into another house. So, if you are a home seller thinking of selling a house and buying a property, do give me a call. I will give you a custom free marketing plan. Reach me at 510-374-2264. Robbie Thomas, Bay Area Downsizer, bayareadownsizer.com. Please feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, and look out for new market updates. Thank you, and have a wonderful week ahead. Bye.